guys for coming. Yeah, thank you for coming. This is our meditation workshop. So to get started, usually for the new year, right? When it's New Year's Day or when New Year's is coming up, we feel or have some kind of pressure to maybe do more, to be better, or to create new things in the new year. Right. Now, I don't know about you guys, but at least for me, I do feel that pressure. Oh, it's the new year. Like I need to come up with something. Right. Do you guys feel like that sometimes when the new year is up? You can just raise your hand. No. Yeah. Yeah. And which is completely normal, right? New year, new things. We wanna improve as people. And so it's completely normal, right? So this workshop, this space is about slowing down, not necessarily trying to fix things or come up with some kind of plan to complete goals or to reach goals and complete goals within the new year, right? So we're really not trying to fix anything. This is also not about just fitness, it's also about life, right? So hopefully by the end of this workshop, you'll have some tools that you'll be able to take on into the future. So, obviously participation is optional. I'll be asking a couple of questions. You guys feel free to share. So before we get started into our actual meditation, let's go ahead and Mike, I know you're driving, so you might probably this part probably won't be a good idea for you right now.
Yeah.
Um, so first, before we get into our meditation, let's just take a couple of slow breaths. We'll do two or three slow breaths, right? So before we get into those breaths, let's go ahead and get a comfortable position, if you're sitting with your back straight, posture straight. You can even lie down while doing this. So really plant your feet into the ground and relax your shoulders. So I'm going to do a 4 to 6 count, 4 counts breathing in and 6 counts breathing out. And we're just going to do two or three. Okay. So let's go ahead and get started. Breathe in 1, 2, 3, 4. Breathe out 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. In 1, 2, 3, 4. Out 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. One more time. 1, 2, 3, 4. Out 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Good. So showing up can mean a lot of different things, right? It can mean showing up for ourselves in movement, in rest, boundaries, consistency, honesty, and even self-trust, right? So there's really no right way to show up. So some examples in showing up in movement can mean, so let's say, for example, you have a workout plan that you do during the week, right? And during that week, you're really busy, your schedule is very hectic, and you feel that you don't have enough time to complete an hour workout or even a 30-minute workout. So showing up for yourself in fitness or even movement could just really just mean that you show up for like going for a walk for 15 minutes, um, doing a couple of sets of push-ups and sit-ups and squats on your own, right? Um, and my favorite with boundaries, showing up for yourself in terms of boundaries, showing up for saying no to things, right? Actually checking in with yourself. And I used to be a really big people pleaser. I was always saying yes and give anybody anything asked me for. And over time, I noticed that, it started to take away my energy. And unfortunately, some people try to take advantage. So until I started setting boundaries, that's when I realized, okay, yes, I do need to say no, and I do need to stand up for myself, and not even just myself, but for other people, right? So, quick question, if we can all answer. When you think about taking care of yourself or showing up for yourself, what does that mean to you? And we could either do volunteers or we could just go around. So if anybody wants to volunteer,
I'll go.
okay.
So while it's important to do all these workouts and everything, it's also
Hmm.
important to set aside personal time for recovery and reflection and occasional laziness. Um, you can't be 20 years old all of your life. At some point, you get to be 50 or more, and
Hmm.
so you have to keep your what your balance means for you, not necessarily what it means for
Yeah,
somebody else.
yeah. Yeah, so kind of like knowing your limits, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, like knowing how much you want to do, not forcing yourself to do more when you know that you can't do more. Or maybe you can, but you know that in the end, that if you do more, you're burnt out, you're unmotivated, you don't want to do anything else, right? And so second part to that question, has that meaning changed over time? Has the meaning of taking care of yourself and showing up for yourself has that changed over time?
For me, yes,
Yeah.
because before it
And
was get in as many classes as you can to take care of yourself, both
mhm,
socially and physically.
yeah,
And I've learned that that's not the key. Is not to spend as much time as possible.
yeah, yeah. Thank you for sharing. Michelle?
Mine is really similar. Taking care of myself before was like bulldozing my way through life. It was like just
Hmm.
checking things off of a list because I knew that they were good for me or whatever,
Hmm.
even if that meant that I
Hmm.
was sacrificing other things. And
Hmm.
so over time, I've recognized that you're not always going to be able to check all of the boxes, and that's okay. And being able to decide what's more important in that time, like being able to read yourself, was really important for me.
Yeah, yeah. So awareness, right? Still being productive and being aware that yes, I do have these lists of things that I want to complete and want to do, but it's okay to not do them all at once. Slowly over time, like that 1% even, just doing a little bit of at a time, right? So for you, Michelle, the first part to that question is when you think about taking care of yourself or showing up, what does it mean to you?
Yeah, so that has developed and definitely changed. When we were doing all of our themes for the year, I think I said regulated
Hmm.
as my theme. And so I that's my answer to that as well, is taking care of myself is understanding what my needs are and what I
Hmm.
have the capacity to do. And then, obviously edging that out a little bit if I have to push through every once in a while, but not doing it
Yeah.
over and over and over to where I get totally just burnt out.
Hmm. Hmm. Yeah. Yeah. Thank you. And for you, Nathan, when you think about taking care of yourself or showing up for yourself, what does that mean to you?
I guess what came to mind was uh, relaxing in the set or relaxing my like mind or nervous
Hmm.
system. And because if I get too anxious about things, then I'm no good for myself or
Yeah.
not or not as helpful as I could be. Um, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So, um, what I'm hearing is that you like clarity, right? You need clarity to go through the process in your life with work, fitness, life, just life things in general, right?
And I would say I get caught up easily and get one thing in my head for better or
Hmm.
worse, and I get too caught up with that. either trying to accomplish that or just worried about something in particular.
Yeah, and has that meaning changed over time?
Um, I wouldn't say so. I just maybe I'm a little better
Mhm,
at knowing what's positive or negative about it.
mhm, mhm. Yeah, so let's look at it in time. So let's say 10 years ago. Think about yourself 10 years ago to now. Over time, has that changed of showing up and taking care of yourself? Would you say that it has?
Um, for me, I guess it has much different, much different life now. Maybe I was
Hmm.
still in college at that time, but uh, yeah, I feel like back then I would just turn only to TV for like relaxing. And now I
Hmm.
think I have a few different, or maybe I'm better at so like maybe going to the gym or just being outside a little bit more.
Yeah,
So
yeah, for sure. And another thing that I want to bring up too is what we were just discussing, how you got a new job, right? You were saying you were feeling stressful at your other job, and now, you transition into this new job, you know, different path. It's a bit exciting, different path that you're choosing. So that's another point. Yeah. Okay. And Serena, can you hear me?
Yeah, I'm here. Sorry, I'm having
Awesome.
to multitask a little. Um,
No worries. S-
I think,
So,
I was gonna say, so I think showing up for myself has changed in the
mhm,
seasons of my life. And so like right now I'm definitely in like the mom season of my life. And so
mhm,
um knowing like I can't pour from an empty cup is really
mhm,
important because I can't, it's difficult to be calm, cool, and regulated like if for my kiddos if I'm
yeah,
not, And so I think showing up for myself lately has been trying to like do that like self-care like in all the like domains like my
yeah,
physical, mental, spiritual, like kind of figuring out like that balance, whereas I think it's changed like in the other seasons of my life, like when I was in grad school or college, right? Like similar to Nathan, it was like, oh, I don't need to read, I'm reading all day, so like I want to watch TV or like do other things.
yeah,
So I think it's kind of changed. And even now, like my season of a mom, I'm now mom of two versus mom of one. So like even that showing
yeah.
up for myself is looking different. So,
Mhm, mhm. Yeah, that's a really good point, especially, being a mom, having kids, takes a lot of responsibility. And yeah, you definitely have to show up for yourself to take care of others, right? Especially your family, especially your kids. So yeah, yeah, thank you for sharing that. And so for me, yeah, showing up for myself, um, more specifically, I show up for myself. For showing up for myself, I do like to meditate. I do like to indulge myself in nature, like going to the beach, staying in the water for like a whole hour, just kind of body surfing a little bit. Um, Showing up for myself, for me also means eating properly. And, we're not perfect. We're not going to always do things by the book, but as long as I know that I'm putting in effort in doing the things that I want to do while also giving myself grace for some things, then I'm okay with that. Right. So let's transition into our meditation. Okay. So meditation, typically, when people think of meditation, they think, oh, meditating is just to clear your mind, not have any thoughts. But yes, that is a kind of meditation, but there are very, 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 there are many different types of meditation, right? Now, in a meditative state, we actually talked about this in our last BU meeting or one of our recent BU meetings that where we're in a meditative state when we're doing something, right? So maybe we'll get a couple examples, but an example for me, when I crochet, it's the same pattern for throughout the whole project. So, I'm repeating the same steps, and after a good 15 minutes, I just get into like the flow of things. I just start moving my hands without even thinking about what I'm doing or even looking at the actual project itself. I'll be looking somewhere else. So for me, that's my meditative state without necessarily clearing my mind. What about any volunteers that can tell us about their meditative state?
Sometimes I got those adult coloring books.
Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah.
Sometimes in the morning, I would do adult coloring where I'm just sitting there and like doing like a super intricate puzzle. And that's been really nice. And my goal for that is not necessarily to clear my mind. It's almost to like let my mind wander a little bit, but intentionally, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Um, and then another one for me is cheer whenever I'm at like an
Mm,
open gym or something like that. And it's really just being able to compartmentalize from the rest of life and not have to worry about anything else that's going on except for just like being
mm,
present. I don't think I've ever been more present than when I'm at just like an open gym or something like that.
mhm. Yeah, and especially I get that because like especially with cheer, you have to be very intentional with all the skills you're doing, right? You can't just go and just kind of just throw it or throw whatever skill you want to. You have to actually think about it and you have to know what you're doing, right?
And
So you
it's
have to be
fun and
very
it's
intentional.
light and it's social.
Yeah,
Yeah.
for sure, for sure. Anybody else? Anything else or anybody else that can share what their meditative state looks like?
I started going on walks like during my lunch to like
Hmm.
clear my mind. And so sometimes I'll do like color walks. And so I'll like look for a specific color. So like when it was
Oh,
the
nice.
fall, I was like looking for orange. And so like as I was like walking around the track, I was like noticing like the orange cars or the orange leaves. And so that
Yeah.
was like really helpful. Um, and then I enjoy dancing. And so sometimes when
Mm,
like I'm in like really just what is it, responding and being like a really good follower, or like we're just like doing
mhm.
like the thing, I feel like I can get into like a meditative state or like very mindful,
Yeah.
like present.
Yeah. Yeah. I feel that dancing piece because a few weeks or a couple months ago, I went to a dancing class in Santa Fe, New Mexico, and I tried following. The leaders had to be the followers, and so I tried following, and I was following for a good 10 minutes, and I was like, wow, this is actually pretty nice. I don't have to think as much and think about like what moves I want to do next.
Yeah, I
And
think the followers have a little bit of an easier job.
and what about you, Nathan?
Well, I like to garden in the summer. The second thing I
Mm,
thought of is maybe a little random, but this year I don't know, I've really, I like watching videos or listening to podcasts of like watch videos of people going to like ancient ruins or
yeah.
doing archaeological digs. Don't ask me
Mhm.
why that really relaxes me, but for some reason, I don't know. It calms me. You
Yeah.
can't change the past, so you don't you it just is what it is. And
Mhm.
I don't know.
Yeah. Yeah. And I like that we all got to share what we all do because if you notice that there wasn't one thing that was repeated, right? Everybody has their own thing that they do for themselves, right? For that meditative state or to get into that flow. So as we go through this meditation, it's like I said, it's not just about clearing your mind, it's about noticing what's here, right? There's no wrong experience in meditating, okay? And if you do at any point start to feel uncomfortable or you start to feel restless, go ahead, open your eyes, adjust your position, shift your position, and just return back to your breath, okay? And what I mean by returning back to your breath, notice your breath and maybe even follow your breath. Um, and the way I do that is as I'm noticing my breath, as I breathe in, I'm in my head, I'm saying, I'm breathing in. And as I'm breathing out, I'm literally saying in my head, I'm breathing out for every inhale and exhale. Okay. So let's go ahead and get into our meditation part. So you could either do this sitting down, lying down, wherever you feel most comfortable. Okay. And I do want to let you guys know that there are going to be moments of silence. Okay. So if the call or if it sounds like I'm frozen or anything, just remember that there will be moments of silence for that because of that. Um, and so yeah, so go ahead and get comfortable. And all right. So let's begin by finding a comfortable position. You can either sit down or lie down, whatever feels supportive for you right now. If it feels okay, just gently close your eyes, soften your gaze, and just take a slow breath in through your nose and slowly exhale through your mouth. Let your shoulders relax and soften your jaw. There's nowhere else you need to be right now. Just allow yourself to arrive. Bring your attention to your breath. Notice the inhale and the exhale. And if it helps, you can silently say in as you breathe in and out as you breathe out. Let your breath move naturally. You're not trying to control it. If your mind wanders, that's completely normal. Each time you notice that, gently guide your attention back to your breath. Inhaling, exhaling. Each breath is your opportunity to slow down. Now, we'll slowly bring your awareness to the body, beginning at the top of your head. Notice your scalp, your forehead, your eyes, and soften the muscles of your face. Let your jaw relax. Bring your attention to your neck and shoulders. Noticing any tension, and if it feels okay, allow it to release slightly. Move your awareness down your arms, through your elbows, forearms, hands, and fingers. Bring your awareness to your chest and upper back. Notice the gentle rise and fall of your breath. Move down to your belly, allowing it to soften, and let it move naturally with each breath. Now bring your attention to your hips and lower back. Notice how your body is supported. Move your awareness to your thighs, knees, calves, ankles, and feet. If your mind drifts at any point, that's okay. Just gently bring your awareness back to your body or to your breath.
Yeah, why? That sounds like a deal. Yes. That's not what this is.
Now bring your awareness inward. Notice any thoughts or emotions that are present. There's no need to analyze them, just notice. Now bring to mind this question. What does showing up for myself look like right now? There's no right answer. Just notice what comes up. Maybe it's movement, maybe it's rest, patience, boundaries, or compassion. Begin to notice the surface beneath you, the floor, the chair supporting your body, and notice where your body makes contact, your feet, your legs, your back. When you're ready, you can begin to add small movements. Maybe gently rolling your shoulders, wiggling your fingers, your toes. There's no rush, just move in a way that feels natural. Take one slow breath in and a long breath out. If your eyes are closed, you can slowly open them or lift your gaze. Just taking a moment to notice how you feel. So however you're feeling right now is okay. There's no right or wrong experience. Just take your time. And when you're ready, we'll go ahead and take a few moments to reflect together. If your eyes are closed, you can go ahead and slowly open them. And take your time to go ahead and sit up. Good. Okay, sweet. So when going through this meditation, and Michelle, I'll ask you first. What did you notice, or how did your body feel? When was there anything surprising?
Um, it's one of those things where you don't know that you have tension until somebody points out you have tension, right? Like when you
Mhm,
don't know that you're rushing around the house until you knock three things off the table and snag your shirt on the door, type of thing.
mhm,
So yeah, when you were calling out pieces of tension, I was like, oh, my shoulders are up to my ears, my hands are
mhm,
clenched. And then just like focusing on different pieces of my body almost makes them feel like they like tingle, if that makes sense,
mhm.
because you
Yeah,
never just like sit there and think about your being. You're just accept the fact that you are. So it's always really fun and interesting to actually pay attention to like almost on a cellular level, you know?
yeah. And what was it like slowing down or to
Uh,
slow down?
that sounds anti your what answer you're looking for, but sometimes it feels anxious, you
Hmm.
know? Like I was just thinking
Yeah.
that the other day, there was 5 minutes until my husband was about to come home. And I was like, oh my gosh, I should be doing this, that, and the other. And then I was like, it's 5 fucking minutes. Just calm down and just sit with the dog. And so even just sitting for 5 minutes like made me anxious. So it's definitely something I'm still working on.
Yeah. Okay, thank you. And Nathan, I noticed you were laying on the floor. How did your body feel? And was there anything surprising?
Uh, I don't know about surprising, but I mainly just was thinking about my back, to tell you the truth. Felt
Hmm.
good to kind of relax, relax uh, my mind and back.
Did you feel some tension in their back? Was there tension in your back?
Yeah, um, I would say that.
Okay. Anybody else?
There's tension in my back right now. My neck that just got off work. I'm like driving
Welcome,
home.
welcome.
Hi. Thanks.
Yeah, so we just did a meditation, and
Oh,
so
shame on
I'm asking if was there anything that they noticed when they were doing the meditation? And if you want to share, do you do a little bit of if I remember correctly, you say you
yeah, I
do meditate
meditate.
a little bit or
Yeah,
do some breath work?
I do. Yeah,
Okay.
all of
So
it.
when you meditate, what do you notice and how does your body feel?
Um, I just noticed that I'm able to like go to this place. Like, so I don't know, I have different techniques, but like there's one that if I look up to a certain place, like it's kind of like the third eye or whatever. I look up and it because Dr. Joe Dispenza does it, and it's like kind of this blank space of like nothing. And
Mhm.
I'm able to just kind of tune out everything for a moment um and just deeply relax. And also, well, I do breathe. If I do the breathing, that helps too, like holding my breath, and stuff. then maybe just breathing easy after that. But yeah, my body does feel more relaxed. My mind, everything is just like,
Mhm.
okay, I'm fine. I'm back to ease and flow after. But
Yeah.
during, I do have thoughts that come or like inspiration or things. Or I do like a future self meditation where I go through the portal and I see my future self doing the things or whatever.
Mhm.
So,
Yeah.
and then I step into that person and then we come back to the portal. So I do different types, but yeah. And then I have
Okay.
recorded ones I listen to sometimes. But yeah, it always helps. Always
Yeah.
makes me feel better.
Yeah.
And yeah.
Yeah. Thank you for sharing. And so I noticed, Michelle, you did say that you did feel that you did feel or you noticed the tension at first, right? And it wasn't until we were going through each body part that you were able to release or you noticed that you were tensing up there. Yeah. Okay. So let's do one more question. So can you share a moment when you felt proud for showing up for yourself, even if it was in a small way? And we'll go ahead and get volunteers for this one.
I mean, I felt proud like every time I've showed up for like any prep class or audition over the last like 7 years, like all of the times I've showed up for any
Yeah.
of that stuff because it was super scary, intimidating, and I was like didn't really know what I was doing, especially at the beginning, and even
Hmm.
other times since. So I always was like, hey, I just showed up, and even in high school, I tried out for everything because things I wanted to do because I was like, well, if I try out, there's always a chance, and if I don't try out, then there's definitely no chance. Like I definitely won't make
Yeah.
it. And there was many times I
Hmm.
didn't make it. More times than not, I usually don't make it, but make the team or the cut or whatever. But then there's times that I have, and that makes it worth it. So
Hmm.
I'm like, oh, I just get better every time, I guess, or something improves. Maybe I don't get better, but I feel like something gets better.
Yeah,
I'm
and
more
you
confident
don't
at like showing
mhm.
up.
Yeah, you don't really know what the outcome will be unless you go for it, right? You miss 100% of the shots you don't take.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah. So go ahead, Michelle.
I think mine is embracing positive conflict. I didn't start to do
Hmm.
that until about maybe 5 years ago, also recovering people pleaser. And so I
Hmm.
hated conflict. It was so uncomfortable. I never wanted to do it. And so
Yeah.
I got to a point where I was actually willing to say something um, earlier than I was before, or mention something that bothered me. And it felt like empowering. And
Yeah.
most of the time, it did not end up being nearly as bad as I made it up to be in my head.
Right. Right. Yeah.
That is so good. That's something I'm working on too, actually. Like trying to have uncomfortable, hard conversation or say the things that in my head after I'm like, ugh, that is a hard one. So good job.
Mhm. Yeah. Yeah. And it's also boundaries, right? Setting boundaries
Yes.
for ourselves and
Yes.
setting boundaries for other people for ourselves,
Mm.
right? Um, as we were talking about like people pleasing, like yes, me too. I used to people please all the time, a lot at the expense of myself, right? Um, and another example that I want to give for showing up for myself was actually going to the steel athletics gym. I knew I wanted to do cheer, and I wanted to do cheer again after taking a good break. And I was like, okay, I'm just gonna go maybe join some tumbling classes, and if they have cheer for adults, then I'll join. So yeah, I showed up. I asked if they had tumbling classes for adults. They said yes, and then I ended up being on Steel Athletics for a year with Michelle. Um,
That's awesome.
so
So cool.
thank you. So yes, meditation as a life tool, right? Or even breathing techniques as a life tool. So awareness comes first. awareness creates space, right? If we're feeling pressured or having some kind of force to do something without having that intention of doing that thing, we're kind of, just going at it without thinking about it. We're just doing it, right? So creating that space, for example, doing a breathing technique, doing meditation, creating that space allows us to choose what we want to do, right? Choice replaces force, right? The breath and awareness that we practice are tools that you can use anytime to show up for yourself. It can show up in stress, in hard decisions, or even moments of pressure, right? And yes, Michelle's comment, she said, proud of for showing up to that new job position at Nathan. Yes, definitely. And so when we notice what's happening inside of us, we don't really have to rely on force or pressure, right? We can choose on how we respond. So real quick, we have about 2 more minutes. So just one or two words, just looking for one word or two-word response. What's a feeling or word or intention that you want to carry with you after today? And Nathan, do you want to give us two words, a word or two?
Uh, I guess two words that came to mind were calm and deliberate.
Mhm.
Maybe that just comes from uh, just doing the meditation, but
Yeah, yeah, for sure. And if that's what that tool was, that's why we use that tool, right? To bring in that breathing technique. It doesn't always have to be a 15-minute, 10-minute meditation. It could just be a box breathing. Breathing in for 4 counts, holding for 4 counts, breathing out for 4 counts, holding for 4 counts, right? Even that is a meditation. Michelle, one or
Darn, I was
two
hoping
words
to
that
get
can,
inspired by other people. Wait, will you make a couple people go first?
yes, yes.
Okay.
Serena?
And I was trying to think too. Um, I think grace like came up because I know we talked about like giving grace for ourselves. So that came up. And then the other one was like breathe. And you had
Mhm,
talked about like the power of breathing. And I
mhm,
preach this and I know I should practice more what I preach, but right, like the neuroscience shows that every time we switch tasks, that our body gets stressed out and our brain gets stressed out and dysregulated. And so like breathing like before we switch to tasks is like really impactful. And so I know
mhm.
I preach that at times and give myself grace to do that more. So
Yeah, awesome. Thank you. And
That's all I
Michelle, you want
needed.
to go
Serena
next?
got me. Okay, okay. I think mine is going to be slow down. Um,
Mhm,
because physically I'm getting better at that, but mentally it's still a bit of a basket case. So
yeah,
reminding myself in my brain, because I usually get ahead of myself like 10 subjects and then I start freaking out, slowing down and recognizing that I can only do so much at one point in time. I think that's going to be
awesome. Thank you. Annalie, one or two words that or intention that you want to carry with you?
Mhm. I really liked what Serena said too, by the way. I'm going to try that because I have a lot of times that happens at work. I have to change tasks like that. So I'm going to try to breathe. So that's a good
Mhm.
tip. Two words. Let's see. Words. Um, what's the opposite of procrastinating? What is it?
action.
Like
actionating.
Actionating. I like it.
I mean, there's some things that I procrastinate. Because I was just mentioning that because when I did 75 hard, I was like procrastinating, always do the second workout and I do like qigong or Tai Chi, like a video on YouTube. It's like, hey, I did my second at like 1 in the morning. I was like, I have one more workout. I was like procrastinating.
Mhm.
Anyway, so yeah, like getting stuff done that I don't want to do.
Okay.
Whatever that word is. Like,
Okay.
because I am getting better at that. And that's what I'm really working on. And then also I need to work on the confrontation thing that you talked about. Like that's actually a big thing. That was like going through my head because I literally from a situation from last night to today, and I'm like, oh, how do I? It's like in the moment I'm like fine, and then after I'm like, wait, I have stuff to say, and then I'm like, but how and when, and yeah,
Yeah.
getting
Great.
to
Great.
that
Thank you. And Mike, you there? Okay. All right. So sweet. So, or just my word is, as I said before, boundaries. Just want to make sure that I'm keeping my boundaries and giving boundaries to myself too. So awesome, great. Well, I will turn it over to Michelle because we do have some announcements. But yeah, thank you guys so much for joining this workshop, and I hope you guys enjoyed it.
Thank you so much, Gray. So announcements are super quick, super easy because y'all have already heard about a lot of this recently. So one is the transition portal. I think we've got 1 or 2 spots left. So 30-day mindset program. I'm looking for beta testers to do it for free. And the idea behind it is it's like a 30-day journal prompt. So I take you through like a mindset journey so that you can help process change. I'm super excited about it. I think it's going to be really cool. So we're looking for 1 or 2 more beta testers for that to try it for free. If you know anybody who might benefit from that. And then second is our challenge starts in 2 weeks. So I just put out some teasers for it yesterday and today. The registration should be available tomorrow. So I know all of you have done the challenges before. Let me know if you'd like to. We'll send you the link over. This is going to be the last challenge that we're doing the exact same format. And then we're actually going to switch it up Q2 and do something fun and different. So if you want to do it how we've been doing it, come join us for this next one, gain some momentum for the rest of the year. And that's it. Let us know if you need anything else. Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you.
Thank you guys.
I'm sad I missed the
See ya.
meditation, but it was still great.
We got you next time. Thank
No
you so much
worries.
for coming.
So I might do the beta tester thing maybe, but also I want to know what are the dates of the next one?
Yeah,
Challenge?
so the challenge starts on February 8th, I think it is. It's that second week in February.
Okay.
Yeah.
8th to the what then?
So technically I'm gonna give the handbook out on Sunday. So we're
Uh-huh.
doing it slightly different this time. It's usually Sunday through Saturday. We're
Okay.
actually gonna give the handbook out on Sunday so that everyone can review it. The
I like
actual
that.
challenges will be Monday through Sunday. So you actually get points for all 7 days instead of the 5
Oh,
plus the 2 bonus, which I'm
okay.
excited about. And that's gonna allow us to have the award ceremony Monday night, and fingers crossed, hopefully that allows more people to be able to come.
Gotcha.
Yeah,
Okay. Cool.
yeah.
Yeah. And
Cool.
then
Well, hit me up, yeah, about the transition portal if you want to ask any questions or anything too.
yeah,
Okay.
we can talk about that.
Okay.
Thanks.
All right.
Perfect. Thanks so much,
Awesome.
guys.
Thanks, guys.
Talk to you soon.
Bye.
Bye.